This is a basic tutorial to help those using important functions of this app. If you are downloading in iTunes at the App Store, you first want to get to the screen that looks like this and download it to your iPad or iPod. After downloading the app, this is my iPad, and it appeared somewhere on one of your screens, and in mine it's in the upper left hand corner here, and this is what you want to click on, chess opening, and the trainer might not be appearing. And after you download this, we're going to walk through the steps on getting your box account created, putting files in your box account, and also uploading through iTunes. Again, I'm using an iPad, and for this illustration will work best for me. Now the next step in our journey is to create a box account. And the best way to do this, I have found, is simply open up your Internet Explorer, go to your address page, and paste this in there and hit enter. And when your setup account appears, you will fill out all the information and create a box account. When you log in for the first time, it'll show like this. You'll put in your email address and your password that you did when you registered it online or through this app. And then you will click on Authorize. You can also create a box account by clicking on Register for a Box. This is another way you can do it. I just prefer to go online first and create my account, then go to Log to Box after I open the app for the first time. When you see this appear, you have to grant access in order to get to a folder inside your box account online or on the web via your Internet Explorer. You cannot access your box or bring files into your program, this application, until you do so. You can also put them online through iTunes, which I will explain later in another video. But this is what you must press right here in order to get access to what we're going to show you in this tutorial. Now there may be some sample games in here in this white vertical rectangular box. However, on mine they're all missing because I did not fill up my folder for this example to show you what it might look like. So we need to go to the next step and put in games inside here so you could use them for the Opening Trainer app. The next step in the process is to get this tool PGN2COT. This will help convert your PGN files so they can be utilized by the app. The next step in this process is to go to your web browser and type in PGN2COT converter. And as you're typing it in, I use the Google browser. It pops up tip, convert your PGN files into chess opening trainer. And I look for the one that says Facebook. Make sure you're logged on to Facebook and click on this file. Once you click on this file, it'll open up your Facebook page and you'll see Mac or Windows. It'll open up the chess opening trainer, Mac or Windows. We're using Windows, so I click on that and it brings you to the direct download page. And then you select download. I send this, I hit save to my desktop, save as, desktop, PGN2COT, hit save again, and then it's going to run a security scan. Once it runs a security scan, it may say PGN2COT is not commonly downloaded, could harm your computer. Just click OK and you'll be good to go. And once it's downloaded, it'll show you over here, right here, PGN to CO2, and then it's downloaded, and then you want to install that program. And in the next video, we're going to show you how to convert to PGN to CO2 and some of the minor complications that arise and confuse a lot of people. The next step is to install the PGN to COT program. Right here it is. It is a self-contained program, so it doesn't utilize a lot of space on your computer or system. It is also virus-free. So if your program acts funny, you're just going to have to do a workaround in order to install it. I click on it, click Run, and when it's ready to run, another screen's going to pop up here shortly. And you have a choice to uninstall, run now, or cancel. Click Run Now. And then it's going to pop up PGN2COT, welcome. Import PGN. The View Your Box does not work yet. The programmer for this is working on that. But right now we're going to talk about importing your PGN, and later we'll talk about how to put it in through iTunes when your phone or your iPad is plugged into your computer. For this purpose, we are working on the iPad version of this program on how to install it through iTunes. But we'll get to that later once we can import a PGN, convert it for the program. And down below it gives you a few other hints on getting started and how to create your box account, which we already covered in the previous video. The next process in this video is to import a PGN. And what that means is you're going to bring a PGN file, which I placed on the desktop right here. It's called the SharGame1.pgn. Some of you that convert video may not show the file extension. So depending on what program you're using or how your system is set up, it may not show .pgn. In this particular case, it shows the chess-base icon because I used the chess-base program to save my game that I want to import or use in other chess programs. Because PGN is a universal portable game notation that's used in these programs. The COT, Chess Opening Trainer, needs to convert it so it can efficiently use it in its database program. So we're going to import this file by clicking on here, but we're going to title it first. And this is the biggest mistake I see a lot of people make, is they ignore this, and it's the book title. So it's the Shara game that we're importing, but we can title it anything we want. So for test purposes, I'm going to type Shara game, and I'm going to name it something really weird, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way it'll be very evident when we go through this process. Half move supplies to import per game, enter 0. I default everything to 0, and I always save comments. Just a slight note. If you have a lot of games in this PGN and a lot of comments, it's going to take a long time for this converter to process. And if there's a lot more than you realize, it may even crash the program. And maybe that's a little bit too much studying all at once. You might want to condense it. And in this particular case, I only put one game in here, so it's real easy. And it'll convert really quickly for this demonstration. So put 0, save comments. Now we're going to select PGN file, and we're going to look for this program, this PGN file, which is on my desktop. So I'm going to select this, and it's going to bring it up to my Windows screen. I'm already in my desktop, and look, there it is. I'm going to select it, and then it's going to process. Look at that, process really quick because I only have about 1 or 2 games in there. At this point, we've converted it, and this is another big problem people have. It goes to your documents folder, so we have to go there. Next video. After going through the process of importing a PGN file, in this case we imported the Shara game, and we imported it here. We made sure we put the book title we wanted to name. We defaulted it to 0 and save comments and notes. we selected our PGN file, and in this particular case we named it Shara Game 12345 right here. And then the biggest problem we see is that where does the file go? So the file goes into your Documents folder. So in this particular case, you would bring up your Documents folder. In this Windows, it'd be Desktop, Library, Documents. You click on Documents, and you look for Shara Game 12345, and right there it is. That's the COT file, the chess opening trainer file that you need to utilize. It doesn't have an icon. It doesn't have an extension. This is the file that has been imported and converted from this file, sharagame.pgn. We imported it, processed it like we did earlier, and then it went to our Documents folder. Once it's in your Documents folder, you can use this file and import it into your COT. And in the next video, we're going to show you how to drag and drop it into your Dropbox and how to also use the iTunes folder or the iTunes program to drop it directly into your app. And in this particular case, it'll be my iPad. Now we're going to go on and to show how we did this in one fluid motion. First, we had the Shara Game PGN. We clicked on Import. We made sure we put a book title unique, and that book title will show up in your Documents folder. We also have half moves implies here for the advanced user. For most of us, we'll default to 0 save comments. We'll select the PGN file, which would be this one. Once we put in that title, Shara Game 12345, and after that's done, it goes to the Documents folder. And then it's a usable program file, which we showed here earlier. It's the Shara Game 12345. Now what you want to do is you want to open up your iTunes and go to your summary. Here's my iPad and summary. And then we want to go to Apps. And in here it's a bit confusing because you got this inner scroll bar right here, and you're not going to get there by that. You're going to use the outer scroll bar, which is over here on the very edge, and you might not be able to see it in the video, but here it is. And you scroll down till you come down here. We got these apps, and you select Chess Opening Trainer. Now once this is open like this, you want to drag and drop that Shara Game 12345 right in here, and it'll go directly into your iPad. So I leave that window, I come over here to the Documents folder, I click on it, hold, drag over to iTunes, and wait, it pops up, and then boom, there's Shara Game 12345. That's how you import it manually. Just as a side note, you need to make sure your iPad here is plugged in to your USB port so this will show up. And you want to click on your iPad icon that will appear once you're properly connected. Then when you're properly connected, this may appear, the summary, and like I said earlier, you drop down to the apps, but you have to be plugged in via your USB port into your iPad, into your computer. Then you drag and drop this game. That's how it'll be imported. I failed to note that earlier. You must be plugged into your computer via your USB port. Now once you drag and drop it to your iPad, as I showed you earlier, it's going to appear when you open up your program, Shara Game 12345. Then you could click on it right here, and it'll open up, and you can learn more about the other details with other tutorials that are provided by the producer of this app program. And just as a side note, you might collect some games in here, and they'll all start to list here, and eventually if you add a new one, you might not see it. You may have to close out of your app and then go back into the app. And this will happen when you utilize your box as well, which we're going to show you next. This next video, we're going to show you how to put it into your box account that you created earlier. And when you log into your box account, it's going to show you Chess Opening Trainer folder. If that doesn't appear, you want to make sure you log into the box first with your username and password. This folder may not be created. But usually when you hit access or grant access, this folder should automatically be created. So when you're in the box account, you want to add these files that you converted, PGN to CO2 files. And they're in your documents folder. So we go down here. I picked one that's called the Vienna Game 1. So here it is, Vienna Game 1. We want to click on that, hold it down, and then drag it down to the E, Windows Explorer. Your box account will appear, and then you can move it right into this folder or the miscellaneous folder, but drop it in the Chess Opening Trainer. As you can see here below, it's uploading. And it says here, game has been uploaded, Vienna Game. Now when you're done here, it's going to show up in through your box account or a cloud account. That's what box is. And you'll be able to go from there and then put it into your iPad. And that way it'll load from the internet. You could put all your files that you convert here into the box cloud, if you will. And then that way you don't have to always worry about whether you delete them or not on your iPad. And once the Vienna game was uploaded, you will go to your box and click on it, and it should show you. It may take a few seconds, but it'll show Vienna game. And then you click on it, and you click OK. And that will send it to inside of here. And here you can see now the Vienna game is loaded with the Jara game. And that is how you bring it inside of your app via the box account or your cloud account through the box. And right here it shows that it's loading book because we clicked on the Vienna game. The Vienna game is loaded. The Vienna game will appear at the top, what you labeled it, what your book title was, and then it will show all your pieces ready. And you can use these various buttons and other tutorials and videos. They'll show you how to do all of these things. This ends my video on some of the most common mistakes or errors. Hopefully my basic step-by-step process will help you enjoy this program much better and customize it so you can help your students or just get better at chess.